Let's go. Day three. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Matches are still on, by the way.
Yeah.
A couple. We have Isner and Opelka still ongoing, and we have Murray and Isner.
Just you say their names. Make me yawn.
We're gonna have to put some energy in Carlo this morning.
No, but you just said Opelka and Murray. Wow, that made me yawn. And Isner.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little segment about that for sure.
Yeah.
All right, hello and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is Wednesday, June the 29th, 2022, and we have day 3 Wimbledon here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The first thing we're going to start with is a comment that we got earlier from someone by the name of Rowdy Every Lap. So this is the first shout out that's going to lead into our first topic. And again, this is in lieu of Rowdy Every Lap. All right. The comment came in just a little while ago after Emma Raducanu lost. And here's the comment that he or she wrote. Quote, Emma Raducanu is Anna Kournikova with a victory. Get back to me if she ever gets to 3 career WTA victories. I won't be holding my breath.
Well said. Yeah.
Agree or disagree?
Agree. Once again. Well, I feel like I was telling my daughter in the car, Raducanu was very lucky to win a slam. She really was. If you look at it, no one really played, and then the top seeds lost early. I mean, look who she played in the finals, Leylah Fernandez, you know? She can't even figure it out. She can't figure it out at all. We were watching that match, and she's so inconsistent, and she just has to look at, the crowd has to go, yay, after she wins 1 point. They're acting like it's she just won a set when it's just a point.
Yeah.
Like a point. That's not even important. A point.
Well, that's home field advantage. But yes, I agree with you. It's kind of cringy.
It is cringy. And I just don't ever see her winning a slam. I'm sorry. I don't think that she'll even get there. I think now.
Even though she has one. But yes.
I mean, another one. That was the bet with Michael Walker.
Yeah.
Last year, she got to the quarterfinals. This year, she lost in the second round. So she loses some points, right?
Yeah.
Now she goes to the U.S. Open, would be the next Grand Slam. That's 2,000 points to defend.
Yep.
We know she's not going to defend those points. You
cannot have a top 20 player, much less top 15, that in this calendar year, she has 8 wins and 11 losses. There's lots of players with much better records. Believe me, the players in the locker room, I can assure you, aren't happy about it. Do you guys remember when Karatsev on the men's side jumped out and was kind of, I'm not going to say dominating everybody, but he was getting a lot of wins, right? Mm-hmm. I think he won a couple of titles. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Maybe 1 or 2. But what did we say about Karatsev when he first showed up? That, hey, he's good, but he's, kind of just come out of challengers and so forth. No one really knows his game yet. There's not a lot of film on him. It's just a matter of time before people actually start being coached to beat that person specifically.
Right.
And smart players do this on their own without even having a coach to motivate them to do so, studying game. Eventually, people figured out Karatsev, as we said, right?
Yep.
This was a year or 2 ago, I think 2 years ago. A lot of times we'll say something about a player that, that gets hot and everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, and we'll say something like more realistic from a coaching perspective. And we get yelled at, but usually, not always, we're not perfect, obviously, but for the most part, I think statistically, we're right more than we're wrong about players that jump on the scene and how good they will do. Mm-hmm. Raducanu is 8-11 on the year, and a lot of those losses come from average players. Okay, if you are on her team, Carla, if you're in her corner, if you're her coach, you're her trainer, you're her sports psychologist, whatever she has on her team, what do you tell her moving forward? Does she have, every champion has to have some comes natural with the package. In other words, Federer looks natural on the court. Djokovic naturally reacts to the serve real well and reads the serve real well. The greatest athletes of all time have naturally done something like right out of the womb. They were destined to do that. Does Raducanu stand out to you as someone that has something that you could coach out of her? Like, what is it that could you say anything? Does she have the ability to do it again?
She's young enough to fix any of the glitches that she has in her game. Ryan mentioned, I think he said, what was Ryan's quote?
I quoted it.
Ryan sent me a message about her forehand, which I found to be very true. I'm like, how come? I'm like, but her forehand didn't look really bad at the U.S. Open. Something changed with her.
Yeah. Ryan's quote, I wrote it down. I'm a pen and paper type guy, hence the notebook.
What did you
But
say?
Ryan was telling Carla that, quote, she has a strange looking forehand.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, speaking of strange looking strokes, who are some other players that have strange looking strokes or habits? Let's look at, isn't it Kiki Bertens that has the straight back service toss?
Yeah, but
She
so
has to
does
come all the way around.
Garcia. So does Garcia, I've noticed.
Okay. What about Tiafoe's forehand? What about Tiafoe's?
Well, Tiafoe's a full
forehand?
Western, which our kid has, and our daughter, and I haven't.
Mhm.
But there are ways to fix. So I heard them talking today on Tennis Channel about, not Tennis Channel, it was ESPN or one of the commentators. I think it was Mary Jo Fernandez or it was Pam Shriver, and they were talking about her Western grip, her full Western grip, how it's a disadvantage, but Schweitek's made it work. But there's a reason why it probably looks better on her than it looks on Tiafoe or Khachanov. So Tiafoe, when he brings his racket back, it's like this, right? So then when he tries to hit it, he's like up here,
Yeah.
and his elbow is up here. So when he tries to hit it, he's scooping under, and then coming around. And same thing with Khachanov. Mm-hmm. I have the same grip, but what I do to make up for that is I put my racket head up.
Yeah.
So my racket head is up. By the time I take it back, I'm here. I drop it. There's my grip. Yeah. I'm right on top of it. Yeah. So that's how you can fix. If you have a full Western grip, you can actually adjust the way you hit it by your take back. If you bring it back like this, you're in trouble because now you got to scoop it up. Yeah. And that's what I've been trying to change on my daughter. Like I tell her, have it here. That way you're right there. You're smacking it, and now you're getting under and around. And I think that's the same thing that Schweitek does. Yes, Open.
Tatara says, "Hey Justin, I was thinking you sang Raducan-WHO when she lost. Thank you." LOL. Yes, we said the same thing today. I think a lot of us did. But thank you for the comment. So what Carla's talking about is when we hold the full Western grip, hand underneath the grip, basically, right? It's hard for us to pat the dog. Now, what does pat the dog mean? So as we're playing and we turn to the forehand side and we're about to release the racket from the hand or to start to come forward with the swing, we let the racket head fall. Right. Mm-hmm. And if we let the strings kind of fall and pat the dog, like if there was a dog sitting here and we're using like a semi-Western or a continental grip, even Eastern, you can come right around it naturally. But if you use the full Western grip, just like Carla says, you're really kind of cooped under there. It's not really.
Yeah, I think that's why Tex kind of fixed that, because if you watch her racket, her take back, she's here and she's like she accelerates. She's like, boom. She just gets under it, whereas you watch Khachanov and Tiafoe, they're still here and their elbow,
their
elbows up, which can cause injury, and then they're trying to get under it. Yeah, that's very tough.
Yeah. So how do you offset it? How do you offset this? Carla said it perfectly. Instead of patting the dog on the head as you know we're coming around, pat the dog, go. She's more slapping the dog on the side of the face. So she's not coming back, pat the dog. She's coming from here with a flat racket and then around to still generate the
I'm trying to make up for my funky grip by having the head up and kind of flattening out the shot. That can be worse. Yeah, and you do hit a pretty flat ball. You can hit spin when you want, but if you're just playing without thinking, you're just my grip is set up for topspin, but I purposely hit it flat. So I want it going straight down through you.
Yeah, your balls come at a very straight angle and don't have a lot of arc, right?
Yeah, I can hit it when I want to though. Tatar says, Carla, what do you think Jabeur has to do to improve her win slam? I was watching her game.
Get in better shape.
Now she was hitting too many balls in the middle, not being aggressive. Yes, definitely getting in better shape for sure.
And look, she's better than she was. Mm-hmm. But if don't hate us or don't hate me, I'll take the rap. But to be a champion, besides those outside the bell-shaped curve, Ostapenko's. Well, Ostapenko was at heavy set when she won the French Open. She was a strong little 17-year-old, right?
She was a very young girl. But how old is she now? 21.
She's got to be older than that. 24 maybe. Ostapenko 24 now, something like that.
There's no way a 24-year-old
there are too many people that can outrun you and outlast you. Let's look at the Harmony Tan match with Serena yesterday. You know, Serena was up 4-0 in the third set breaker. And what did Tan keep doing? She kept chipping the ball, drawing her in. But she ran the daylights.
That was by the way, I watched that tiebreaker. I heard it yesterday, right? Because we were on the court, but I watched it this morning.
Yes.
And I'm like, damn. poor Serena. She's
Yeah.
at least 200 pounds, and she is huffing and puffing. Her forehand shots, Tom gave her like a approach shot, a short ball by the service line, and she would roll the ball back. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, Serena, from back then, you gave her a short ball and you were dead. You were almost praying to God.
Yeah.
Please miss at the net. And she just rolled it back.
Yeah.
Tom will lose in the second
Oh,
round.
there's
It
no doubt
doesn't
about
matter
that.
who it is. It
Yeah.
can be Santa Claus on the other side. I promise you that she will lose. Serena should have not lost that match. That was not a tough match.
And fitness was the tell of the tale.
Yeah,
However
she
you
was
wanna
just
say
too
it.
big. And I watched
Mhm.
her interview. And I mean, they asked her, are you going to play the hard court season? Are you going to play US Open? It was your first slam that you won. And she's like, yeah, I won my first time there. Of course, I'm going to play it. What do you feel like you need to do? And she's like, play more. But she's like, that's if I want to do it. And that's what we said.
Yeah.
Does she want to do that?
Exactly.
I mean, I think about when I was 17, 18, training 8 hours a day. I don't want to do that anymore. Like I have no desire to do that.
Do you think if you knew now, 5 kids' life, how it's tough and blah, 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 do you think if you went back in time and had that knowledge, in other words, your mindset was now, but then, do you think you would have even worked harder?
Of course. But then my life would have been different.
Yeah.
So of course I would have worked harder. Yeah, on the tennis court. I felt like I could have done anything. But, we're kids and we're lazy and, we think we know better. And that's why I had a talk with my daughter yesterday. I was telling her, I was like, look, when you practice, it's horrible. It's horrible to watch you. You're going to regret it. I was like, you look like me. You have my strength. You're smart. Work hard now.
To Tara, thank you for the score update. Van Beethoven, that's funny. You watched, obviously, just won the 3rd set against Opelka. And here's another example. We have a segment about this coming up, and we have the scores here too as well. But I didn't see that. I was eyeing the women's. But this is another example of someone like Raducanu or someone like Karatsev, even though he was more of a senior player at that point. This is another example of a young man that was a good junior. Didn't Ludwig van Beethoven, didn't we do some really junior player and did really, really, really well?
I've never heard of him.
I had neither. Until the last tournament.
The only reason I heard of him is because Medvedev made him famous, by yelling at his coach and stuff. That's the only reason why I even paid attention. Otherwise, he could have won that tournament, beat anybody, and I would have never even paid attention.
Okay, check this out. Carla and I have some students that are beginning the game, but now they've been playing for maybe a year, or we've been with them for 6 months or 5 months, whatever. And there's something that you strive for as a coach, and that is to finally get the beginner to move their feet like a player, right?
Yeah.
So we will incorporate boxing gloves. Obviously, we won't hit anybody, and we'll kind of spar around. If you go to our playlist on this channel and go to random things and scroll through it, you'll see a video of Carla and I boxing. We're out in the yard. We got boxing gloves on. We're throwing punches. We're not connecting, but anyway, it's really difficult to finally get the footwork down, right? So you're trying to find a switch to flip. Okay, you're trying to let them shadow you, trying to get the feet, happy feet, and not this, slapping of the feet everywhere. There's a point in a player's career where they finally find that switch, right? They find the switch. They just got their runner's high. They just got their tennis high. They are ready. Sometimes it's too late, Karatsev. Sometimes it's early, Raducan-WHO is, I don't even know who is that? Raducanu, I get lost. But
I celebrated. I was
like,
she
let's
lost
go,
today.
come
I was like,
on.
yes.
Let's go.
Yes, Michael Walker.
Let's
Right.
go.
All I was thinking is Michael Walker, the $500 that you're gonna owe me for making that stupid bet with me.
Well,
I can't wait. We're like getting down to 4 years, and then it'll be 3 years, and time flies. Time flies real quick.
Yeah, the good news is you have a guaranteed friend for the next 5 years. He's not going anywhere.
Let's keep betting.
He's gonna want that money.
You got the money, obviously. We can keep betting.
So is it safe to say that this young man, Ludwig van Beethoven or Van Rithoorn, it's just easier to say Beethoven. Is it probably true now that he found that switch? He found his confidence. For him, confidence was the switch. Did he find it?
He needs to win this match, I think, and he will gain more confidence. How old is he, by the way?
I think 24. I think. By the way,
he looked older than
by
that.
the way, though, here's the problem, and where I'm going, and I'll end with this. Raducan-WHO found that switch. She did well. She won a major. People studied her game, and she did not have, in my opinion, the variety to start mixing it up. Okay. Karatsev, same way. Jumped on the scene. Maturity found the switch. Whoa, let's go. Why do we have "Let's Go" on the back of these shirts? Do you see the "Let's Go"? Can you pull it out? See the "Let's Go"? That's it?
Yep.
Okay. How do we incorporate "Let's Go" into our life? Because sometimes you get out of bed.
Lost?
Sometimes you get out of Besley took them out. Let's go.
No, it said Fokina, Ryan said Fokina just disqualified himself. How did he disqualify himself?
Check it out. Good thing. Thanks for the info. Sometimes if you just get out of bed in the morning and you feel like life is shit, you get out of bed and you go, let's go, come on, out of nowhere, and your day's better. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. But this is an example of a gentleman that must have variety moving forward, or he'll be just like Raducanu or Karatsev and millions of others or hundreds of thousands of others over the years of playing tennis at any level, whether it's juniors. You get figured out. Have variety. So now quite a bit. Do you think Van Beethoven has an admirable amount of variety?
I actually haven't. I'll be honest. No, I can't say anything about it.
Well, we watched the Medvedev final, and I mean, again, I've seen better players. He's hot, and maybe he wins the whole tournament. Doubtful. But good luck to him, and glad to see him here. So I hope.
I mean, he needs the paycheck. Let's be real. Most tennis players that are out of the top 50, they're struggling. I don't care how rich you are. Tennis is very expensive. Just to travel, hotel, food.
No, he didn't pull himself out. Besley won.
Yeah, but they're saying code violation. He got a code violation.
What did he do?
I don't know. I didn't watch. We're here doing the show. But I'm just saying, for him, even if he's 23, 24, 25, whatever, he has struggled. It is not easy being a tennis pro, especially a male tennis pro. You must be in the top 50 to make any type of money. And then there's things called sponsors.
Exactly.
If you don't have a sponsor, well, you're not getting that gear for free. You're not getting your racket strung for free.
Exactly.
You're not getting those hotels for free. So for him, this is good. Just like Karatsev got a year of probably a lot of free stuff.
Heck yeah.
And now he's not, because now he's not hot anymore. But we knew they would figure that out.
Exactly.
So Ryan says 9-7, then point penalty and match point, ball abuse, I believe. Just stupid to lose your temper when you're playing a tournament.
Didn't Kyrgios just whack a ball out of the stadium the other day? It was breaking news. Okay, so check this out. I got a calculator out. All right. So let's add up a couple numbers just for fun. She mentioned coaching and how players outside the top 50 or even the top 20, honestly, it's really hard for them to make it. Okay, let's say you are on the road. How many months would you say a touring pro gets off? A month and a half, something like that? So let's say you are having 20 nights of hotel rooms, okay? Times say $200 a night. I think that's fair enough for the cities that they live in. It's probably pretty low. So times 200 nights. That's $4,000 right there, right? Start adding up from there. Food every day. What do you say? Average about $100 on food every day for 200 days. Damn, $100 a day times 200 is $20,000. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So we're at what? Do the math. The next thing, let's look at coaching. If you have a coach, those coaches are at their private clubs coaching for $120, $150 an hour. Carla and I together only charge $40 for members and $50 for none. I mean, and you get two of us.
I do get tipped a lot though.
Yeah, I mean,
the ladies tip me a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, but it adds up. Airline tickets, taxi cabs. It adds up to a very, very expensive living.
It is. I remember I went to a Challenger and I went with my coach and his daughter, and we were in South Carolina. And my parents, they gave him some money, but really I couldn't afford going to that tournament. How I made it there, I don't know, because he had enough to get gas money to get there from Florida. We got a cheap hotel being $80, $90 a night. So if you kept winning, that keeps adding up, right?
Yeah.
We had to eat food about the price you said.
Yeah. $100 a day. It's a given.
Yes. So you have your tournament fee on top of that. You got to warm up. You got to find courts. You got to get the drinks, because they don't provide that at Challenger.
Yeah.
That's something, they got the water, but that's something you got to get.
Yeah.
So it all adds up. And then your prize money ends up being crap. It's shit money, you know?
Or you might get a turkey.
No, it's shit money. It's mostly so you get the points, accumulate the points to try to get into the bigger tournaments. So it's a struggle, you know, it really is. And a lot of these people, they see each other, they travel a lot. Some even stay. Some of the girls I spoke to were staying with families that were giving them just a place to stay for the tournament, like 2 or 3 people sleeping on the floor or whatever.
Did not Felix Auger-Aliassime and Denis Shapovalov, did not they used to sleep on couches together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you gotta do.
Yeah, and how many times have we been in this discussion with just, you know, John Doe or Mary Jane about spending $100 a day on food? Now,
maybe you're breaking even, maybe you're losing.
Exactly. Now let me break down let me break down why food can be more expensive for any athlete. It doesn't have to be tennis. Maybe not sumo wrestling, but $100 a day. Think about it. This day and age, you go to McDonald's, right? And you get just one of their breakfast combos, right? A shit food. It'll make your ass jiggle for a month if you're able to de-jiggle your ass.
Your ass jiggle.
And you're going to get about 1,000 calories of shit, right?
Yes.
But it's going to cost you $10 in some places. It may be $7 here in Alabama, but in California, I can assure you it's around 10 or more. So it's a shit meal right off the bat. Next, you go to lunch. Okay, so same deal. Go to McDonald's and spend $10 and be unhealthy. Or you're going to go to a place for lunch and you're going to spend about maybe $12 on the food, you know, $1 on the drink, whatever. And then you have to tip the waitress if there is a waitress. You can't. If you don't tip, you gotta start tipping because you have to. It's a moral. You have to. We used to have a restaurant and the waitresses that worked for us were only paid $2 an hour, $2.36. That was their minimum wage because they worked on tips.
Yeah, but you can make some good money.
You can make good money.
I remember when I tipped one night because none of them showed up.
Yeah, we waited tables.
None of them showed up, so I had
to be like, what the hell? Losing my hair and shit. But then go to dinner. Same difference. You can go to fast food, but what happens if you want to go out? What happens if you want to go have a beer? What happens if you want?
You won't have a beer if you're playing tennis.
Anyway, well, do you remember the movie The Journeyman?
Okay,
have you ever seen? Have any of you ever seen the documentary The Journeyman?
Was he good?
And it was called the worst player to have beaten Pete Sampras. Oddly enough, I forgot his name, but check it out. If you can download.
You're not drinking beer if you're being serious on the time.
Anyway, wasn't Goran Ivanisevic in that video drinking a beer while he was walking by them at a party?
A party, yeah.
Okay, let me tell them what this is about, and we'll move forward. It's a documentary, and this came out maybe 15 years ago, 10 years ago, and it was called The Journeyman. And it's about a young man that was a partier on tour. He kind of fucked around a lot. He never really took anything seriously, and he ended up beating Pete Sampras in a singles match. And anyway, it's a story about his life and how he returned to the game as an unsuccessful player, but now a good coach. So it ended up well. So ultimately, though, you can see put it this way. It's like his friend the whole time is just videoing those two, and it shows hotels. And they're not living super large. And they're begging for wild cards. They're begging to get in the draw. They're like, please, I need a wild card, man. I got to get home. And if I don't get a wild card, I have no chance to pay for my bills, right? And he beat Pete Sampras at one point in time. Check the video out. It's worth watching. It'll give you a more solid mindset about a touring tennis pro. With that said, you're at least at $100 a day. And what's the biggest reason why it has to be $100 a day? Because you can't eat fast food all the time and stay in shape. Now, sometimes I look at players like Ons Jabeur or Ostapenko, and I ask myself, I wonder if their team is monitoring their diet, because as much as they have to work out, as many balls as they have to hit day after day after day after day after day after damn day, and they still look like that. I feel like their diet is off, and that's a coaching issue. That you're fed at bottom dollar, so someone on their team's pocket a little deeper. I don't have any other way to explain it. Do you think Ostapenko looks in the mirror and says, "Oh man, I look great today," and then she looks at her victory when she's holding her French Open trophy? Now, Ons Jabeur deserves a pat on the back because she's trimmed up, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, to close out the whole Raducanu thing, She's just not a great player, and there's not much from a.
But she has
to add variety. Period.
She can learn it. She's just 19 years old.
She's just
she
young,
definitely has a chance to learn it. I'm not saying that that's it for her. Audio crack for a bit, Justin. An explanation.
What?
Your whole explanation.
What is that? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Tatar said audio cracked for a bit in Justin's explanation.
Oh shoot, I don't know.
Look, we have Jesus today.
All right.
Jesus is in the house.
I don't know where you're reading.
In the house, right here, Justin.
Oh, okay.
He's in the house. Jesus with curly hair in the 5K hat.
Let's go.
Pfizer.
Let's go.
With curly hair. Yes.
Okay.
Anyways, what were we talking about?
We were talking about Raducanu.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like her. Not her game. I think she can improve.
So we're going to close out Raducanu and move forward, but I found a picture of her today. Okay, here's Raducanu.
Without makeup.
Okay.
She's okay.
She's a cute girl.
Yeah,
I say cute.
Yeah.
But also is
thank you.
The dog that
That's
looks.
the man.
Oh shoot, that was almost bad. That was almost bad. But I also found a picture of something that I thought, kind of reminded me of her, and that was a Chinese pug.
Oh,
he's so cute. Raducanu's cute.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
But so I put the two together, and I tried to figure out a way to do that, and I did. And I got this.
Oh, no,
so cute. All right.
You just ruined every guy's dream of wanting to be with her by comparing her to that.
Okay. Anyway, moving forward, I do have a special announcement today. We know that Jamie, or Jamie, whatever. How do you say it? Jwami? Anyway, Jwami Munar. Jamie Munar, yeah. We've talked about Munar multiple times over the past 4 years. And what is the one thing that we have always talked about Munar for?
Grunting.
The damn grunt.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
He sounds like he is he's actually auditioning for a porno.
An adult movie.
An adult movie.
Yeah.
Yes, I swear. And it's horrible.
Munar took a loss today. Okay, fair enough. But he actually won. Do you know why? He won the heaviest, loudest, gnarliest men's grunter on tour. So I thought about this. Carla mentioned this. We walked in, we turned it on, we just got home. We're not coaching it because it was pouring rain.
It's still raining.
And we have clay courts. So
it's still raining. I looked at the security camera. Still raining.
Yeah, it takes a bit to get the clay back ready to play, especially when you're doing 8 courts that way. Anyway, but Carla was like, damn, he'd be a good asset in an adult movie scene for background noise. Like if there's a scene on and the actors are tired, he can just be in the background, so they can put the sound in with the clip. So I thought about it and I was like, you might have something here. This might be a good new app on your phone. You could just audition for this. You could just be making the noise for the people filming it and then put it together and send it away. But here's what I'm saying.
Get paid to do that. He has a second job.
Okay, check this out. Will you do this role play with me? And it's up this. Okay, maybe not. Okay, maybe we shouldn't do that. But imagine Azarenka and him trying out for the same role. Squealing pig and dude taking a shit. Let's go. Munar, you have officially won the loudest man's grunt of the damn year. Well, it's true. It's definitely true.
I can never. Wow.
It could be a good app, though. It could be a good app.
Oh man. That's a record was bad.
Yeah.
Just
and the actors get so tired of doing it, their vocal cords are going bad because they have to make it interesting for people watching. So now they can just shut up. They don't have to say anything, and they can just do their thing in the background. Azarenka's over there, dude's over there like, and be a damn song. Oh my God, oh how to harp.
Oh my God. Oh,
crazy, man.
Oh my God, stop. Oh yeah.
All right, next.
What's up, team?
Next. I gotta make the next topic one quick one, and that's Steve Johnson. So Steve Johnson, the American player, and yes, we gave him a little grief yesterday for looking old, and he still does look old, but he's made his way into the 3rd round. Okay,
This is crazy entertainment.
Did what's his name? What's his name? Steve Johnson. Didn't he make like the 4th round last year? Didn't he? Didn't he make a 4th round?
Let them answer. I'm looking at the
Oh, was it a
4 one already? Yeah.
Who does she play again next? Or who does she play next?
I'm trying to figure out her name. Here, wherever can I find
Perry, the one-handed backhand. She's playing the one-handed backhand.
Oh, let's go. Perry's done well.
Let's go. That'd be a fun match to watch.
Yeah.
Okay, but he makes it into the 3rd round, and he has been to the 4th round before. I'm assuming. I think so.
Mm-hmm.
How much further can the 3rd round can he go? And I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but it's rare that we got an American man moving forward at all. Tiafoe's another. But does he have a workable? Can he do anything here? He's got Cam Norrie next, and that's going to be tough.
Could be I'm sorry, guys. Don't get on me. I think a few of you guys. I think it was Michael Walker, William Spencer. Who's the other one? Jack Nolte. I said the British are very boring. Okay. I tried to. He's not British. He's South African, right?
Who, Gene?
No. Norrie is he? Where's he from?
Well, he plays under the British flag, but
okay.
I think he's from elsewhere, though.
He is boring.
I think he was born, though.
Even his haircut was boring.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think I'd rather listen to Munar than watch Norrie play. Another boring match. Boring.
His grunt was hideous. Again,
Munar was, but Norrie is boring. He has no personality.
Yeah, could not stand the grunt. It was ridiculous.
I'm like, and you know what? I understand why the British crowd now they clap. I get why you guys clap for 1 point that one of your players is playing, because that's pure excitement for them. 1 point.
1 point.
They act like they're at the World Cup for soccer.
I agree.
I'm like, really? I'm like, they just won 1 point. I'm guessing. I'm not watching Murray play, but I'm guessing that the crowd is jumping because he won the 4th set.
I'm assuming
or 3rd set.
Yeah,
I'm guessing they're jumping like they just won the World Cup or like an Oscar. You know, I don't know. I'm just saying. William Spencer says fake Brit. Norrie almost makes watching or listening to Wozniacki seem interesting.
And William Spencer is in the UK, so he deserves the right to say that. He deserves the right to say that.
There's very few, like there's Darren LeBeau. He is an exciting guy. He is British, but he makes everything fun. You guys got to check him out on Instagram. That guy, he's got a cool haircut, and he does some cool tricks.
In shape.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And he said he was in his 50s.
Look at the bottom section of the top half of the men's draw, starting where Humbert comes in. Humbert took out Casper Ruud, by the way. Not a shock, though. Humbert's a solid player. Casper Ruud's a clay court guy. Anyway, Humbert, Goffin, interesting matchup.
Oh, there it is. He said Justin, he made the 4th round 2016.
Yes, thank you, Tahara. Yes, thank you. I thought that, but thank you for affirming that or confirming that. Humbert, Goffin, Tiafoe, Bublik, Norrie, Johnson, Paul, and Vesely. Wow. Any one of those gentlemen has a really good path to the semifinal, believe it or not.
We got 2 Americans.
Because the semifinal up there is
3 Americans.
It's Novak Djokovic. Now, Novak Djokovic cruised today, and I thought Kokkinakis would put up a bigger fight.
He's a hottie, but he don't play like a hottie.
Well, I think he's a little rusty still. He still hasn't got thick back in the saddle yet.
Well, how long is he going to wait? It's been now like a year.
You know, it takes a little time. You know?
I don't know. If you want to make at least the top 20, you got to do it now.
Now, speaking of Djokovic, we always give tournaments and tournament directors and majors and Masters 1000s or premieres, whatever. We always give them shit when tiny little countries have their countrymen facing off against one another in like the 1st round or 2nd round. You know, how many times did we see Wawrinka and who always met in the 1st round? And Dimitrov. I know they're not from the same country, but in other words, matches you see all the time. Yes. So what was his name? Momir Kekmanovic would face Krajinovic, and then Djokovic would face Jiri, whatever, right? So you got this little country.
Just like we're going to have Djokovic and Kekmanovic.
We're going to have Djokovic and Kekmanovic.
Didn't you read William Laurie's comment at the beginning?
No, that was Rowdy Every Lap.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Rowdy Every Lap.
Didn't Kekmanovic and Djokovic face off? Like, just recently in the first round again or second round?
It's always that. It happens with U.S. players a lot, believe it or not. But it's a big country, whatever. We had 34 U.S. players in this tournament. 34.
Good.
That's 18 men, women, and 16
I'm
of the
hoping
other.
tee off a
34. Serbia's got like 4.
Yeah.
And then you're pairing them off in a third round. I mean, okay. I think I would space the Serbians out. It's like they always meet each other right there. And this goes for Ukraine. There were 3 Ukrainian girls. 3 Ukrainian.
Sarenko?
That would be 4 because I did not even put in.
Is Sarenko? Ukrainian?
Sarenko's another one.
Slovenia didn't play.
Slovenia did not play.
Okay.
Okay. Sarenko today took out a fellow Ukrainian in 3 sets. Okay. Kostyuk was another Ukrainian that lost their saying. And all of them were either on the same half of the draw or the same kind of section area. This is another example. I mean, Ukraine's in the middle of a gnarly conflict that they didn't ask for. So what I'm saying is when you try to give them a little space just to do the right thing, or am I being stupid?
You're being stupid.
Okay, I'm being stupid. But it just seems like
I get it. But tennis is tennis, and guess what? I don't care if you're American. I'm still gonna kick your ass. It doesn't matter who you're facing in front of you.
It's a good point.
You still gotta kick their ass
to
be a champion. I don't give a shit if you're my brother.
It's a good point.
I kick your ass. Just saying.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
All right. Enough of Steve Johnson. Good luck to him. Annette Kontaveit, who I chose on if the $600 prize giveaway, the $600 in cash. I played it. I obviously wouldn't win it.
I was right.
But
was I not right, guys?
I had her as my finalist.
And I laughed. Do you remember the show where I laughed at him for picking her? Because I said, first of all, she sucks ass this year. 2, she's been hurt. 3, she hasn't played much tennis. 4, she's overrated. And there's my point.
Mm-hmm.
Proven again.
I wasn't the only one that selected her, but the bagel in the second. Bageled in the second.
She got bagel like Muguruza?
Didn't she get bagel?
No, I thought that was Muguruza. She got bagel too? Maybe.
What was the score in the second
Let's
set
find
with? I thought she coughed up a bagel. Was that 6-4, 6-0? Or I have the wrong match?
Let's
And
find
again,
out.
this isn't written. I'm just shooting from the hip. That is always wrong. But I think I'm close to being right. Maybe she was down 4-0 at one point in the second and finally got on the board. Something. But she was beat by a 22-year-old German, her Nemier.
6-0. So she got the same score as Muguruza. 6-4, 6-0.
Told you.
Yeah.
But my question is what happened? So that set was extremely short. By the way, speaking of short sets, Garbine Muguruza, who, by the way, won Wimbledon in what, 2017?
She beat Venus.
Yes. And was it 2017?
We were at the restaurant. I think it was 2015.
Okay, poll question.
I think it was 2015.
When did Muguruza win Wimbledon?
I was rooting.
I'm saying 2017.
I say 2015. I was rooting for.
You want to bet $1? You and me. Bet $1?
Oh, okay.
Boom. Let's go, Gene Swart.
We were at the restaurant. So
ding, 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 ding. Thank you, Gene Swart.
Okay. You get $1 from me.
But why give up the bagel? Did she not show up? Did she not sleep well? Did she not eat well?
I don't know, but
did she get in a fight with someone on the
telephone? If I was Muguruza coming back from that match, you lost 6-4, meaning that you're close to your opponent. I would fire a coach like a Conchita Martinez.
Ooh.
Why are you spending that much money on a coach when you can't even win? When you can't even win one round, I'm giving away Christopher's pull-up bar.
That's good.
Why would you keep paying that type of money?
It's a good question.
Like, if you can't, this whole year, she has been unable to win a first round match. She was in tears when she was sitting down. I would say, screw this shit. I'm going to save myself the millions. I'm going to fire this coach, find myself what made me a champion. Maybe go back to something else. What was I doing at that point when I won? Was she with her? Obviously, Conchita's not working for her.
I think
something has to change. She's just whacking the ball and not thinking any strategy.
I think a relationship such as that goes a little deeper than that because they're from the same country.
She's not from the same country.
I thought Martinez, she's not.
She's from Venezuela, left as a child to Spain.
I was thinking she was from Spain.
Well, she runs the Spaniard flag because she was raised there. But she was born in Venezuela. But as you know, Venezuela is a communist country.
Too bad. Luke was a great player. from a coaching standpoint, is there anything that you could tell Muguruza to now? It's for me when I watch Muguruza play.
Stop whacking the ball all the time. Think variety too. Same thing for her. Every girl that you watch, we watch Sakari play. By the way, voted the worst outfit in the world.
Do you have a picture of Sakari's
That
outfit?
is horrible.
And by the way, when you're pulling that one up, speaking of outfits for a moment, there was a picture that went, from what I understand, viral, right? I don't know what the amount of people that read it to solidify the viral connotation, but I came across a picture today of Tomljanovic, Benoit Pierre, and I forget who the other gentleman is. I should know that. Surely it's a French player. But here's the picture, and this was heading out before a match at Wimbledon. Okay.
It doesn't make their stomach, even though they're in shape, look attractive. First of all, here's for you guys that say she's hot. She's hot. Look at her big ass head. Look at the shoulders.
She looks like an alien.
This is another player.
Look at the size of her brain.
Look at this. First of all, if you have no boobies, don't wear that. That's number one. You're not Madonna. Don't wear it. Okay. Here it is again. I mean, what is that? Like, how are they allowing that at Wimbledon?
Like
and let me go back to, and I mean, what is that? That's just horrible. Horrible. Let me see if I can find another one. Look at this. This is why I call her an ostrich. I mean,
let me see.
It's just horrible.
The shorts are bad.
It shows like it makes her look like she has no ass. It makes her legs look like they're shorter than what they are.
Yeah.
So if you're a strong girl and you've got these abs, because the shorts give you no shape like a girl should have.
Yeah, she look thin, but
it makes you look straight.
Yeah.
So, and then it's pleated in the front, so it makes you look like a dude wearing 1980s white shorts at Wimbledon, right?
Yeah.
And then the top is like this Madonna thing, bustier, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
But she has no bustier.
Oh,
just saying, she has no boobies. So you can't wear that. And then she has this awful bun that just makes her head look like it makes her look like an alien. Just awful. And you know what I told him? I'd rather be with Serena if I was a dude than her.
Okay, but when she said that, we were talking about this, we were watching it, and when she said Serena, I thought about it, about Tomljanovic's outfit, not necessarily Sakari's, even though they wore the same one or very similar.
So she looks better because she's less manly.
Okay,
you know?
okay. So if you look at when Serena was asked to change her outfit before she walked onto the court but this was okay. Look, Wimbledon has always been very traditional. I'm not knocking on Wimbledon's door. I'm not busting their door down and giving them shit. It's still my favorite tournament. I think this year it really hasn't kind of been because of the Russians not being there, the Belarusians, whatever. I totally disagree with that call. Not going back to that. But someone had to approve the outfit, and someone at some point in time must have said to themselves, hey, wait a minute. Didn't we tell Serena to go back and change? She can get on the court. And it wasn't as bad as that.
No.
So what the hell happened? You're going to tell Serena to go change, but you're not going to make her go change?
It looks
and
like.
And that's why it went viral. Like, who? What?
Let me find that Madonna.
Come on, man.
I'm going to find that Madonna outfit.
Doesn't make any damn sense.
Where it's almost the identical thing. The top, and this is Adidas. They definitely have no creativity. Just saying.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry to deviate over to Muguruza, and we'll get back to that. But Annette Kontaveit to get bailed in second set was heartbreaking for me because I was really trying to win that competition, even though, again, I wouldn't have. We give it out, not take it in from ourselves. And I was a little disappointed there. Now, Pliskova, Carolina Pliskova, she comes through today, right? Mm-hmm. Did not Pliskova make the finals last year, right? Didn't she play in the finals last year? No, Pliskova got beat by Barty, right? Do I have that right or wrong?
Here's the outfit. Look, there's Madonna's outfit. I mean,
how is that even similar?
That's the same.
Oh, okay. It's like fitting. Yeah.
Yes. I'm gonna find another one too. That's Madonna's style. That was her style in the 80s.
Can Pliskova make another deep run? You know she's one of my favorite players, except for the day she smacked the racket on the umpire's chair. That was like a moment that I don't forget. Like when I think about Kyrgios, I think about the water ball gesture. When I think about McEnroe, I think yelling at the umpire. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Who does Sakari play next, by the way? Tatiana Maria from Germany. She should have a good time there. There you go. All right. Can Pliskova make another finals run? Who's down there that's going to threaten her? And you know the top half of the women's draw is absolutely loaded. It is loaded. The bottom half is very workable. The top half has the likes of Swiatek. Let's keep going down the list. Andreescu, Badosa,
Anisimova.
Kvitova,
I picked
Anisimova, golf.
Anisimova to win this tournament, beating Jabeur is what I picked.
Yeah.
I feel like anything can happen at this tournament.
Okay.
Anything.
Let's look at Pliskova's potential path. Okay, she plays Bolte from England next. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, after that, she's going to face either Anisimova, Lauren Davis. I'm sure it's going to be Anisimova.
Well, she's still got to go through Sarita's baton.
And Buzaredescu or golf. Now, golf is in her way, and that's respectable. If that match happens, I will definitely be analyzing that one. I love both players. Pliskova is one of my favorite veterans.
So you like the zombie?
I like both girls a lot. Now let's just say
no personality.
Let's just say that Pliskova gets through golf. Let's just say, okay, and we could very well have the same conversation going the other way too, because they're in the same section. Okay, so if she gets through golf, above has Badosa. I don't trust her. I don't trust her to. She's hit or miss, right?
I don't trust.
She's better than Raducanu. She's probably won and lost more matches than Raducanu has at this point this year. What is she? 8-11, 8 wins, 11 losses coming into this tournament, and she's number 11 in the world. Like, what the is wrong with
How
that?
many points did she lose today? Because she made the quarterfinals last year.
If you win a major, it's 2,000 points.
Yes,
if you
is
second place, I think it's 1,000 or
500,
1,500, something like that.
So she lost about what, 250?
She lost. I thought it was the fourth round she lost.
Oh, maybe.
She didn't make
I
the
remember
quarter.
last year was dramatic. She was suffering from panic attack or something.
Yeah. So as Pliskova gets towards the semifinals, you have Swiatek. You got an Andreescu in there if she stays good to go. You have a Kvitova up there that she has to be careful for in the quarters. But could she do it? Can she make a final?
I don't think so.
She has Swiatek.
You got to have a heart, personality, guts, fire, and she just does not have that. This girl has. She could be winning a match, her face looks the same. She could be losing a match, her face looks the same. The end of the world could be coming, her face doesn't change. She could be proposed to right now, her face doesn't change.
You want to marry? Yes.
Yes.
Hey, baby, we're going to go on vacation. Let's go.
Okay. That's her personality. I just don't see it. It's not happening.
Yeah.
She lost 245 points.
Thank you for dropping that, James Ford.
William Spencer said Voltaire beat Pliskova at Eastbourne last week. Which doesn't mean shit because this is a Grand Slam.
Well, it means something. It means confidence. She believes she can do it again.
This is a Grand Slam.
But like Carla always said, people that do well at the warm-up event generally don't.
That's right. There are no points this year.
Oh, that's right.
How stupid are we?
Wait a minute. Maybe that's why we're having so many of these withdrawals. I forgot about that. Like Berrettini, if there was points in line, do you think he would have dropped out knowing he made the final last year? He would have played, wouldn't he?
All right. Beethoven beat Alpaca. He beat, what do you call him?
Paul Bunyan? Paul Bunyan, yes.
Paul Bunyan.
Let's go. Van Richthofen moves on.
Paul Bunyan.
Good for this kid. I like this kid. Or he's not a kid, he's like a man. But will he be like Karatsev that everybody figures out?
I don't know, but he might as well make as much money as he can.
Van Richthofen.
Like I said, the tennis world is very tough. You might as well make it while you can.
Okay, I got a question. So, Nicolas Bachelet-Dili is Van Richthofen, aka Ludwig van Beethoven. Can we just make up something shorter to call this guy? Can you come up? Beethoven. All right, let's call him or Betty. Beethoven short. Betty. What's up, Betty? Okay, Beethoven. We'll call him the good guy. Is playing Bachelet-Dili, the wife beater. We'll call him the bad guy.
I hope he goes down.
We have good versus evil. Who wins, good or evil?
Good.
I hope so.
I can't stand Bachelet.
Let's go Van Richthofen. Be careful for Bachelet-Dili, though. If you go back to the first year of our shows and long before that, because we were together long before any show started. What did I used to tell you? What did I used to tell you, Carla, about Bachelet-Dili?
This guy's gonna be in the top.
Top 10, top 5.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, top 3. I never said number 1, but I said he could be a top 5, top 10 player. Is it so? Am I shocked? Okay, let's see how.
He needs to make money, guys. Remember that he supposedly grabbed his wife in front of his son and choked her. So I'm sure he's going to court. I'm sure a lot of money is being spent on lawyers.
Yeah.
She's making him. I'm sure she's getting child support. The guy needs to win because he needs to roll that money in because the wife is or ex-wife is taking some of that.
I agree with you.
So he needs to keep winning. Otherwise,
yeah,
tough go.
Now, Carl, I'm going to give you a test. If you could pass this test, I'll be impressed. About 10 years ago, there was 2 players that I mentioned had the potential to be top 5, top 3. Never said number 1, Never.
Chorich was the other one.
Chorich was the other one.
Yeah. And he's not.
So 10 years ago, Carla and I doing the same thing long before shows. We always talk about players that we think have the ability to get top 3. You know, it's hard to be number 1, but who gets top 3? I used to proclaim that Basilashvili and Borna Chorich would be future top 5.
Yes.
I think Chorich got close. I think Basilashvili was top 15, maybe top 10 at one point in time.
Not sure.
Anyway, but he's a good player. He just doesn't have a good domestic history with his private life, even though it shouldn't make a difference, right?
Yeah, because it's just like what's Deshaun? What's his name?
Oh, that's a.
I mean, nobody cares about their personal life. They're athletes. Who cares, right?
That whole Deshaun.
Who cares?
Yeah, if you watch sports.
Who cares they raped a woman? Who cares they beat up a woman? Who cares they molested somebody? They're athletes.
Yeah, we won't get into that, but the whole Deshaun Watson thing, he's a fine athlete, but man, when 27, 26 girls accuse you of sexual assault and you still get a guaranteed $200 million, there's an issue there. Unless there's 26 girls that don't know one another that have all came up with the same story.
Chuck Dennis says, laugh out loud. There they go again.
No.
Us.
What do we do?
We always bring up stupid crap. But it's true, man. They're just athletes. Who cares that Zverev choked his girlfriend and he's a puppy hater, but we all still love him. We always follow the ones that are idiots.
So Nicholas Basilashvili's career highest ranking. That's what I'm doing here. I'm not ignoring. I would never do that. I love doing this. This is like my favorite part of the day. I mean that. Thank you. This is really good time for me. Obviously with Carla every day is a great time. Roses are red, violets are blue. If it wasn't for the show, or if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be doing the show.
Okay.
Anyway, but Basilashvili has made the 3rd round of Wimbledon in 2015. He's been here before. He was his highest ranking was 16 in the world. Now, what was Borna Chorich's highest ranking? Wasn't he top 10?
I think he got higher. He had more talent.
And he had some injury issues.
This is hairstyle. It's got to go.
Borna Chorich
hairstyle.
is still only 25, and his career highest ranking was number 12.
Yeah, but I think time has passed him by.
At 24, time's passing by, and you're still pulling for Serena at 40?
Who said I was pulling for Serena? He didn't have the talent that Serena had.
Are you serious? You just said that? Who is pulling for Serena?
The reason why
you buy her rare shoes. You wear her
racket.
What?
Wait a minute.
Are you serious?
Wait a minute. Serena won 22 slams. Why wouldn't you pull for someone that won 22 slams? This
23, right?
22. 23?
Serena's 23.
23. Why would this bozo, who was number 12, hasn't even come close? Not even close to winning a Grand Slam. Time has passed. Just like TM should thank his lucky stars that Djokovic, that disqualified, got a slam in. That's it. You're one and done.
Okay, fair enough. Now, let me ask you an objective question, Carla. I want you to answer the truth. You just mentioned if you're 24 years old, time has passed.
For Chorich. Why? Because he's been injured.
What about...
He's been injured. He's been injured. And he's been injured. How many times can you freaking get injured at 24?
How old is Djokovic?
Has he gotten injured, guys? Once. When? Almost like a few years ago and came back. If you're injured, you can't come back and you still keep getting injured. You can't come back. You try to come back and you still get injured. Your body's telling you something. There's no way. There's guys that are 18.
No. At 24, if you're on tour and you're playing, you can still get better.
There's guys that are 18.
24.
Then if he can get better, Raducanu, who can get better?
Oh, I agree with you. I'm not okay. Here's another subject matter in hand, and it rolls right into this. Carla, we were watching John Isner and Andy Murray, right? Is that match over, by the way? Is it over?
Which one? It's still playing.
Okay, we were watching.
If you want to fall asleep, watch that match.
It's still on behind us in the room where my kids are. John Isner match came on, and Andy Murray. As well, at the same time, Paul Bunyan was playing. AKA Rally Opelka.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there, and I asked Carla, I said, Carla, from a coaching perspective, again, I always say that because we coach, that's what we do for a living, and we enjoy it. We're passionate about it. I'd rather be there now, even doing the courts rather than sitting here, and not doing a show. I'd rather do both equally. But, if I'm just sitting here, whatever. But we asked one another, if we were coaching that player, would we be able to say there was something in their life or something in their game that they could do better? Or is it just like, Isner's a big server, that's about it. Murray's at the end of the road, he's got a metal hip. In other words, can they possibly, Murray, Isner, whatever, can they possibly do anything, whatever it is, to get back over that hump? Or is their time just passed? And there's nothing you can do about it.
You got to be lucky.
I mean, it's Serena. Like, if she'd follow
She's got to be lucky. She's got to be lucky. She needs to lose 30 pounds. George just did not have the talent that Serena had. And then here's a few comments. Tara says, Justine comparing George to Joker. Ha, ha, ha.
Well, I didn't mean to. You know I'm a huge
June
fan.
says George is too injury prone.
Yes.
And that's my point. Yeah. The guy has tried to come back, and he gets injured. Just like Del Potro. He tries to come back, injured. He tries again, injured. At some point, you got to say, you know what? Maybe this wasn't meant for me. Perhaps I should look for a different avenue in tennis, commentating, getting into an academy, something else, because my body's not holding up to, for the grinding tour. There are kids that are coming out 18, 19, 20. Here's 24. Here's 25. Before you know it, you're 26, 27. Oops.
You wake up and you're 44.
Just saying.
Yeah. By the way, we were talking about Andy Murray, and so we've talked about Norrie, British players from the UK. Two of you we know, Jack Nolte and William Spencer. I think you are both in the same area, right? We always call it the 5K family. What's up? We all kind of hang out, right? It's pretty fun. But you guys should hook up, right? If you're needed. I know that. Yeah, we had a picture. Anyway, you should hook up. Jack Nolte, William Spencer. You're both in the same place. Should make that happen. We talked about Muguruza already. We talked about the Serbians squaring off early. Third round's not terribly earlier, but Kecmanovic will take on Djokovic. I can go ahead and assure you that match will be closer than you think, only because Djokovic won't want to disrespect his brother. So don't be shocked if Djokovic loses a set to Kecmanovic, and it might just be a gift. Okay. So if you're going to bet on that match, how many sets it goes, you might want to bet on 4, because I think Djokovic might help his brother out. Maybe not. Maybe it's too risky. If I lose a set, I got to play for an extra hour.
Yeah, you're my brother. Let me gift you a set.
I don't know,
I don't
man.
think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Does anybody know, by the way, Oscar Ott was playing, I think it was Christian Harrison. And Christian Harrison, I think, is Ryan Harris's younger brother. Is that true?
I don't know.
You remember Ryan Harrison?
Yeah, foreign player. Yeah. No personality.
What caused? I couldn't find it. What caused the walkover? What happened? Did he get hurt? What happened to Harrison? I couldn't find it. And then I looked. As you know, I wasn't diehard watching that match. I wasn't like, let's go on. Come on, you got this on. Harrison. Oh no, it's coming to the net. Harrison for the winner. No.
That's been most of the matches.
Huh? That's over? Yes. Come on, shit's over. Come on.
That's been most of the matches.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Not all. Okay.
Well, I mean, is there Murray? Here you got Murray. He's like.
Yeah. What caused it? If you're a tennis player out there and you actually use the first person.
Leg injury. I saw him.
Okay, leg injury. Okay, good. Sorry, I hope it feels better, but damn. There's no points. Whatever. I could have tried more if there was points, but because there's no points.
Yeah, he got the money. He got the money. Murray's bitching at the crowd. Murray needs to stop being a little bitch. He's a bitch himself. I mean, like, seriously, I'm like waiting for him to yell at Lendo, because I swear, if I was his coach, I would throw something at him. For yelling at me.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Breaking news. Ostapenko. Oh, damn, girl, you got big. Ostapenko. Oh, she got through to the next round. Damn, girl. What's up? Oh, you look good, Ostapenko. Oh, damn, you got big there, girl.
Oh, man, stop.
Anyway, we give her.
Ryan's I'm cooking pot roast, wondering what will finish first.
Hey,
Is there dinner?
Give your leftovers to Ostapenko.
Yeah, she might want
She'll scoop them up. I bet she'll pay for the shipping. Anyway, what?
She'll pay for the shipping.
She'll pay the shipping. Overnight that stuff so it doesn't get bad on the way. Ostapenko, you go to her door, she'll be opening up boxes of FedEx that's got gravy dripping out.
Oh my God.
Okay.
That's so wrong.
No, it's not, because it's true. She's a pro athlete, and if she's got 1 million followers, she better be ready to deal with some truth every now and then. Because if I was on her team, I would be cutting that out.
Yes, I'm very happy. Very happy. I'm enjoying it. Yes, my favorite. They all answer the same. My favorite place, Yes, it's unbelievable how I feel. Just unbelievable to play here. It's just very unbelievable. It's like they don't know what else to say.
And meanwhile, you're thinking of this girl that has blasphemed people, snubbed handshakes, been a complete biatch her whole freaking career. And she's like, oh, I'm so happy. Like, what? Were you happy last tournament when you snubbed the handshake at the net? Like, she's
a biatch.
She's a biatch. She get some.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the funny part. Okay, so Ostapenko has a pretty workable third round match, right? However, Sakari looms in the fourth round potentially if it happens. So it could be the Christ versus the Antichrist. It could be the good versus evil. It could. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Wow.
Sakari is Rip City. She's shredded up. Ostapenko is the complete opposite of that now. So it's like, who's gonna win, the fatty or the skinny one? Which one do you bet on? I'm taking Sakari.
You mean the manly one?
Whatever. She doesn't have lard rolling off her ass. So I'm gonna go with.
I don't know. If I had a choice of body, I think I would go with Serena's because I could work that. I could work it off.
Yeah.
Not Ostapenko. I could work Serena's body.
Okay. A few more things. This morning, Carl and I were reading, and I came across an article in Sports Illustrated. And the article was written by John Wertheim. Okay. So thank you, John, for the nice article. But his article was titled, "Is Wimbledon Losing Relevance?" Is Wimbledon losing relevance? Google it up, read it. The author, John, thank you again, John. The author indicates that he has never seen such little media coverage at any major before with his time involved with them. That how much time, I don't know. I don't know what the credibility is, but it seems pretty good in Sports Illustrated. Well, one of the top, if not the top only magazine that's left at the local airport. Number two, he states that the media interest in the USA has fallen beneath the level of soccer in the USA. The level of interest in tennis, namely this tournament, Wimbledon, hence the article, dropped below the level of soccer. Now, what does that mean? Everybody
at Wimbledon,
people love individual sports are you and your own. Nowadays, especially in the US, you know, if you get in trouble, you be like, it was that guy's fault, blaming this person, blaming that person. No one wants to take sole responsibility, and that a tennis player has to do, right? You go meet this person, they're like, man, you know, you did something you weren't supposed to do. Oh, it's because of him. You know, they pass the blame. In tennis, you can't do that. Kids are so used to these days saying my brother did it, my sister did it, I didn't do it, the dog did it. But in tennis, you can't. So it's a lot harder for the young person to really get into the game from a player's perspective because they're used to just blaming it on their brother. Individual sports are very difficult.
R. Taylor got 30 years. You should have gotten 100 years.
Yeah, I was pretty whack. What's up, Mike Walker?
Mike Walker, your girl lost, boy.
Let's go, Mike Walker.
Lost.
Okay, so also John states that it has been the smallest amount of ticket sales and crowd that he's seen in 15 years. Now, I don't know, count the numbers. I didn't do it.
Well, we got like
two
ladies that are there. Deshay.
Yeah, we have two students that are there.
Deshay, and then we got Barbara that's there at Wimbledon.
Okay. The list goes on. Not only did they ban the Russians and Belarusians, old news, but there have been the fewest amount of pre-tournament interview requests by reporters to player than there has been in memorable past. Okay. The writer goes on further to say that it could be because of the recession. You know, it could be because there's no Federer. It could be because Serena's here but out of shape. It could be. But my question to you all is, given that, and read the whole article if you wish, it was well written. Do you think Wimbledon's relevance is dropping? When I was a boy, up until right before this tournament, was my favorite.
I did.
And it still is.
Not my favorite, but I used to run up and watch it on NBC right after. So I used to run. I knew The Price is Right, and then Wimbledon came on. So I would run up with my brother, and we'd see, the whole song. You'd see the crown. You see the strawberries with the cream, and then the opening, and we were getting. Yeah. Now I'm just like,
you're like, whatever.
So I'll do this. Justin, read the Emma quote she said in the press.
How do I find that?
It's right up here.
Okay, Gene Swartz says this. Emma Raducanu, the messages are going fast. Emma Raducanu on the pressure of heading to New York as defending champion. There's no pressure. Like, why is there any pressure? I'm still 19. Like, it's a joke. I literally want to slam. Really? That's a snooty response. I'm glad I'm glad. Thank you for sharing that, Gene. But yeah, this is the type. You know, when she won the U.S. Open, no one had heard her speak. But like within the next week, she was doing interviews, talking like a straight up thug. You know, I mean, she's when you're an athlete that just won a major, they're gonna thank your team and all this stuff and all this stuff. But there was a couple interviews that she did where she just sounded like a straight up biatch, right? Talking this, talking that. I'm like, what the hell is this? That's when I started thinking she looked like a Chinese pug. It's like it's a question for all you guys. If you have a girl and she's just smoking hot, you're like, damn. You're all proud to walk next to her. Everybody thinks you got like the hottest things in sliced bread, right? But you go home and she's an ass or a bitch, you know? How far are you willing to take your sanity and your manhood? Would you sell yourself out to have someone that's super hot, even though she treated you like shit? I'd be like, get lost. Highway, stay in your lane. Let's go, LeVar Ball. Seriously. She stays in her lane, I stay in mine. So we're good. But I'm just saying, a lot of you guys out there, you take shit. You take shit. And I'm like, why?
He don't take shit from me, and I don't take shit
from
him. When I'm being mean, he whatever. And when he's being mean, I give it right back to him.
And then
you know what? Because I tell him, I was like, nobody. You could be Thor. You could be Gerard Butler. Nobody. I will allow that from.
Now,
right?
Yes, I agree with you. So we're going to end this segment with a poll question, and I wrote this one down, so poll it if you can. Poll question is this. We were watching today on ESPN, and I forget the match, but Luke Jensen, you have the Jensen brothers, the doubles players, right? Carla has. I
have their signature.
Yeah, Carla has an old set of tennis cards. Like you have baseball cards, you have football cards, you have basketball cards, whatever. You know, baseball and football cards being the predominant card trading thing. Carla actually has the original set. You could get them, but don't worry about it. We'll do it next time. We'll show your cards next time.
Well, and I have when I was in high school, because our team went to state, I was a junior.
From like the 80s, original cards.
I have a postcard they wrote to me, and they put, "Be my biker babe."
Yeah, be your biker babe.
Yeah, I have it signed.
Do you know right where that is?
I have to go up there.
Yeah, if it's a pain, don't.
I'll show it next on the next show.
Yeah, but she has a mint condition tennis cards. And it has the Jensen brothers on them, and that's how I remember
all the older players.
Okay, here's the poll question, okay? And answer this one. The poll question is this. Luke Jensen stated, and I quote, that center court Wimbledon is the most important court in all of tennis. Do you agree or disagree? So can you poll question this? Is center court Wimbledon the most important court in the game?
Center court.
Yeah. Wimbledon. Yeah, she types fast. I'd be pecking it.
The most important
court in tennis.
Court in tennis.
Yeah, it's a good question. I still try to think so. I still do, but right now this tournament, I have to say there's no Russians. Not that I think that any one of the Russians, maybe with the exception of Rublev and Medvedev, would have done me good. But the qualies were a little weaker. You know, we had Mahut and Isner, and we had Anderson and Mahut basically changed the rules of the game with the 70, 68, and the fifth. Anyway, I feel like Wimbledon has had the most tradition historically, even though the French Open is older, by the way. Wimbledon is not the oldest major. French Open was the first, okay? But it seems like they're unraveling their tradition relatively rapidly. The crop top dresses that we just talked about, tiebreakers in the fifth set, thanks to, Isner and Mahut. They're so quick to speak about tradition, but yet you guys make your own rules all the time. There's a war in Ukraine. All right, they can't play. Serena, get off the court and change. You don't have to. Like, what are you doing? It looks pretty stupid. I'm going to shift that over to U.S. Open right now being my favorite.
Ellen Moore says the big three sports in the U.S. have extended seasons. The NBA, hockey just completed in a few weeks. The discussion of college football will be the sport talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Football is huge.
And that's a great comment.
Football is huge in Alabama. It's so huge that they talk about it nonstop, which I get tired of hearing.
Okay, breaking news. Allison Risk.
Wimbledon is the oldest. That's what Michael Walker said.
I thought the French Open was though, Mike. Check that though. We've had this discussion before on this show, and that's why I said that, because I thought Wimbledon was the oldest. We had someone call us out on that about 3 years ago. I was like, Wimbledon is the oldest. And they were like, no, the French, and we looked it up and researched it, and it indeed was the French Open. Unless I have my shit backwards. Knowing me, it's possible. Okay, Allison Risk is no longer Allison Risk. And this has happened for a little while, but we never talked about this. Allison Risk is now Allison Risk Armitage. Now, this is a good thing. Congratulations. And anyway,
she's been married
but
for a while.
it was interesting to me, though. I was writing or whatever we were doing, and I didn't have the match in front of me. And they were talking about this person playing Armitage. They didn't even mention Risk. They were like, Armitage is playing. And I was like, DJ, like, who's Armitage? And then I realized that it was Risk. And finally, when I saw her, I realized that she's now Risk Armitage. Why am I bringing this up? Number one, because VJ Armitage, which is her husband's father's brother, was a fine Indian tennis player, a fine gentleman that my dad has always spoken really highly of. So I did a little bit of research. 6'4". I think, and there's a couple of you out there that are in India that we talk a lot on different platforms or text or whatever. Rajesh Kumar is from India. Is it rare that there's a person from India, like an indigenous Indian, and this gentleman was from Chennai? Is it rare to be 6'4" from the Indian descent? You know, like in Mexico, Mexicans are usually pretty short, right?
Again, Mexicans if you go to Monterey, you see that they're tall, pretty normal, white looking. Go to the capital, same thing. I'm sure Qatar says yes, rare, but I mean, it's like in Honduras. When my dad took me to Honduras, we went from New York to Honduras by car. He took me to this town, which I loved. It was all blondies with green eyes and blue eyes. That's all there was. And they were from Honduras.
Yeah.
And so it's not rare. It exists, I'm sure, but probably not as common, right? Like Serbians are naturally tall. Every Serbian you meet, it's like 6.
Well, not all, but yes, they're very long.
I've met many Serbians and they're very huge, like tall people. Yeah. The women too.
We have a couple Serbians that keep up with this.
Very tall people.
Stephanie Zivic and Simon Simonovic. I think he's in Slovenia. Okay, anyway, but 6'4" is quite a specimen there for anyone, but from India, it's kind of rare. As Tatara said, so VJ Armitage, by the way, made the semifinals of Wimbledon in 1976 and made the U.S. Open quarterfinals in 1973 and 1976. It was a fine doubles player in his own right. By the way, when we speak about Indian players, Carla, the first full-time student you had was Sanjeev Gurshani. And Carla coached that.
Yes.
Gurshani, yeah. Carla worked with this young man every single day, basically rain or shine. I think his dad was even like, if it's raining, I want you to work with him, right? Not only was this kid brilliant, but this kid graduated from an AP high school, means advanced placement, the highest in his class from high school at what, 11 or 12? No. How old was he? Graduated high school?
No,
he was really young.
Like 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't he done with college?
No, he's at the end. From what I saw, I follow him on Facebook. He follows me back. So I said he was at University of Central Florida.
Good for him.
He said he wanted to be a surgeon, brain surgeon. And I've seen him write a few articles already and stuff. So yeah, very smart kid. Just wasn't athletically.
He wasn't a natural athlete.
He was a natural athlete.
But he would analyze every shot, why he's hitting it, why am I placing it? And maybe he would meet a natural athlete, more fluid and more graceful and so forth, but he was always thinking, and that made him very dangerous and a fine young man and a fine family indeed. Anyway, Risk.
Smith Jane says not normal for an Indian person to be above 60.
There you go. Thank you, Smith Jane, for that. Okay, next segment, Angelique Kerber. Okay, Angelique Kerber, by the way, won again today, and she moves on into the third round. Angelique.
Tatar said Vijay Amitrab used to do the pre-Wimbledon show for many years.
VJ. Back in the day, because he does have like a relative that does it too. But yes. Shoot a monkey. Forgot what I was going to say. Okay, Kerber through once again. Now Kerber in the next round, Angelique, will be taking on the winner between Mertens and Udvardy. Okay, so whoever wins that. Either way, I think Kerber has a relatively straightforward match, and then Kerber will eventually take on, if she wins.
They're still playing the third set.
What's the score in the third?
They just started the third.
Okay, so tight third set. That's good news. Okay, so the person that Kerber more than likely would face would be Ons Jabeur. Kerber has won this thing before. What is Kerber's chances to go really, really, really deep into the second week of this tournament? I'm not saying she's going to win it, but look at the. Okay.
She would face Jabeur.
Oh, yes. So what I'm saying though, if we look at if we had the draw, okay, I have the draws. Okay, if we had just that half of the draw as the tournament, okay, so forget Swiatek and this loaded half is on the other side. Let's pretend that Pliskova, Anisimova, Goff, Halep, Kvitova, all these girls, Swiatek, let's pretend they don't even exist in the tournament. And this is the tournament on the bottom side. Here's who you got. And there's a couple of matches still ongoing. Buskova, Risk, Jane Garcia, Kerber, and either Ubardi or Mertens, Parry, Jabeur, okay, Bing, Jabeur, Sakari, still not great in my opinion. Maria, Begu, Pillsbury, Dougirl, Ostapenko, oh, you got big girl. Heather Watson, Goffey, Juvan, Sarenko, and Nieminen. What I'm saying is, in this section of the draw, your final is basically the potential matchup between Kerber and Jabeur. Who wins that match, and if who wins that match, does who win that match go to the damn final? Is the fourth round basically a semifinal if it were to happen between Jabeur and Kerber?
You have too much hope on Kerber.
I'll use the restroom real quick. Keep it up. But tell me about it. Do you think that that's the biggest match in this half of the draw?
No.
What's a bigger match?
There is no big match in this draw.
That's a big match.
Look, you got Buskova against Risk, not a big match. You got Zhang versus Garcia, not a big match. Kerber against potential Bertens or Ubardi. Parry against Jabeur, okay, that's not a big match. Sakari with her nasty outfit against Maria, not a big match. Bagu Ostapenko, definitely not a big match. Wang or Watson against Juvan or Goffey, not a big match. And Sarenko and Neymar. I mean, this is worse than the French Open, in my opinion. It's
that half only.
But this is like a coin toss right here.
In the bottom half only, though.
In the bottom half only. Let's look at the other side. We got Swiatek against somebody. Liu against Cornet. Tomjanovic against Harrison. Golubic against Krejcikova. Not a big match. Minin against Zhang. Not a big match. Andreescu against Raducanu. Decent match. Martic against Kukova. Okay. Pagula against Wins against Dart and Masarova. Badosa against Berra. Bogdan against Kvitova. I mean, this has to be like one of the weakest Wimbledons. The weakest Wimbledons.
I was just filling in.
Weakest Wimbledons.
But what I'm saying is whoever is on that side of the draw, the best players there are Kerber and Jabeur. So you have to assume, and again, I get assumptions are generally wrong, but looking at on paper, who has the biggest shot at making that semifinal?
Anybody
Jabeur and Kerber, though.
Jabeur obviously the biggest, but anybody does. Anybody.
That's all I'm saying.
Anybody does.
Right?
Yeah.
So, does anyone know, or can anyone find out the betting odds of what a Vegas bet would be if
match suspended?
If you were to choose Kerber to win the tournament as of now, what would the odds be? 20-1, 50-1? Can anyone find out what that is? It may be tough. If not, I'll do it later. What are the betting odds right now for Kerber to win Wimbledon? Mike Walker, 50-1, 100-1, 250-1. All I'm saying is it might be worth a $100 bet. No. It might be worth $100 bet. If it's 50-1, you better put $100 on it.
MotoGP says Justin's overconfidence is the only reason why Djokovic hasn't won any Grand Slams this year, and Justin's overconfidence will kill Djokovic's chances, and yet Justin doesn't learn.
You're right.
This sounds like Seinfeld.
But hey, it's not my fault we had the throat hack. It's not my fault the ball line lady couldn't duck.
You got to blame your boy.
It's not my fault that you couldn't play in Australia.
I saw that matches are suspended. Lights gone, so now. All right. Cool. Here we go. Back to Jesus is back with us.
Back in black.
Jesus is
I
back.
hate to say.
Murray, 40-30 and 3-5.
And what, the fifth?
Fourth.
Is he up a break or is it on serve?
He's down a break.
Murray is?
Yes, 3-5. Sorry.
Match is never going to be over when you got Murray out there with a hip. He's giving it his all. It might be the farthest he goes in Wimbledon ever again. He's going to put his life out there, I can assure you. Okay, if anyone has the ability to place a bet with the bookies, you can't do that in Alabama. You can't. Let me know what the odds are, and if I win, I'll pay the $100, and then we'll split it. See what I'm saying? I would love to take a bet for no more than $100 on US that Kerber will win the tournament. Not because I think she will. I think Swiatek will, or maybe Jabeur. I don't know, or maybe someone else, as Carla seems to think. But if the odds were crazy, I would put $100 on if it was going to potentially pay me $5,000 back. Right? I'd be willing to take that action.
Yeah.
It might be a smart bet. Think about that, Mike Walker. Let's go. Come on. All right, this is the last thing I got, right? Take any comments at will. Anyway, the last thing I got is let's, as we always do, let's try to talk about, honestly, some intriguing third round matchups that are already pinned in. In other words, the results of today. Let me tell you, it's kind of tough on both sides. Okay. Now we start thinking about the Russians that haven't been playing. You know, I know there's not a lot of Belarusians, namely, Azarenka and Sabalenka, but they would probably still be in the thick of it, just moving into the third round. Do you think Sabalenka would have made the third round, Carla?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Do you think that Azarenka would have made the third round? And you can't say no because you take her every time on your fantasy team.
Yeah. Sorry, Christopher texted me and he's doing some paperwork.
Oh, can he call?
No, he can't. He's trying to find out how long he worked for somewhere. They're asking him for paperwork.
Okay. Much love. Our second oldest son out of 5 is at the Air Force Academy, and he's going through basic. So he can't have the phone at all. So we haven't talked to him. We're dying to do so.
So far,
damn. Check out the poll question. Can you guys see that on your screen? Like on our screen, it shows the poll question she wrote, and that poll question is center court the most important court in tennis? And right now it's 50-50. 50-50 is perfect.
They are able to see it, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, intriguing third round matches going quickly. Are you interested? Yes or no? Are you interested? Yes or no? And if you want to in the comments, put I'll do it kind of slow, and you can put 1 Y, 2 N. In other words, match 1, yes, I'm interested. Number 2, no. Okay, match 1, Djokovic versus Kekmanovic. Interesting because it's
okay. Yeah, I watch
it. Interesting because it's Novak. I'm disappointed though that he has to play one of his countrymen. Look, Djokovic should be right where Nadal is, if not even more so. And it's just I don't want to get into it because I make a lot of you mad that disagree. But between the ball lady who was fat, she couldn't duck. Between her ass, in Australia, man, I tell you what. I hope Djokovic does really well. I hope Kekmanovic does not take too much energy out of him. But anyway, I'm sure they'll talk about it on the phone tonight. Hey, Momir, don't go too hard on me, man. I gotta win a slam. All right, man, just good. I'll make it look close. Anyway, hopefully that's what they're doing. Anyway, next match, and maybe an exciting one: Basilashvili against Rathhoven. Okay. Next, center playing the winner of Murray and Isner. Oscar Ott and Alcaraz, Ugo Humbert Dauphin, Francis Tiafoe and Bublik, Cam Norrie, Steve Johnson, Tommy Paul, and Maxime Vesely. Okay, good day of tennis, but I'm not going to go running home I'll just record it and watch it later. Women's side, Buskova and Risk Armitrage, Zhang Garcia, Kerber and the winner between Udvardy and Mertens. Pari and Jabeur. That one, I think out of the men's and women's side, that's going to be my favorite one. The one-headed backhand on the women's side.
There you go.
Sub Justine Henin.
So I found the stats for you. I think this is Michael Walker. Simone Halep, 1,200. Corey Goff, 1,200. Maria Sakkari, 1,800. Klishova, 25. Anisimova, 35. Badosa, 5,000. Pagula, 6,500.
Where's Kerber?
No Kerber. Oh, here it is. Okay. Kerber's plus 2,000.
Can you make that bet? If you lose it, I'll go ahead and send it to you now. Mm-hmm. Can you do that? I don't know. You can't do that here. You can't even download the app. It'll say it's prohibited in your state. But if you can make that bet, and I got to pay juice. So if I lose, I'm paying 110. I get that. I'll put that up. I'm willing to, and it's plus 2,000. Mm-hmm. Can you put that bet in for me? And we we're good for it.
Murray's out.
Murray lost.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Let's pencil that in. But if you have the ability to take that bet, I'll pay it at once. But if you don't do that normally, then don't. I don't want to be a bad influence. Isner won. Okay. Who wins, Isner or center?
I think Isner.
The votes just swayed to 13 votes, by the way. Is center court Wimbledon the most important court in tennis?
Yes, I can make bets.
If you can make it, Can you send it to him now? Because he doesn't want to be without his money if he loses.
Wait a minute. Why are we betting?
I want to take the bet. I'll probably lose it. Can I take the bet? Can I put $50 on it? Can I put 50? I'm confident. I think she's gonna win
Michael
it.
Walker, where do I send it to you? PayPal? Do you have Venmo? I mean, this is
So $50 would pay me $1,000.
Hasn't this guy learned that he had no luck in betting?
Okay, but $50 will pay me $1,000, and we get to.
You're not gonna get it. Kerber's not gonna win.
Mike Walker, put me 50 on Kerber. That'll pay $1,000. We'll split 500 if we win.
Just let me know, Michael Walker, how to send it to you.
Right.
You got my phone.
We talk all the time.
You got my phone.
He
number.
gets it.
You just texted me.
Okay. Finish off the women's side. Perry Jabeur, let's go. Jabeur should win that, but be careful. It might be nice to see a one-handed backhand female come through. Sakari and Maria, Begu and Ostapenko, which, by the way, that fourth round potential matchup between Sakari and Ostapenko should be electric. Should be. The big versus the small. I don't know who won between Juvan and Qian Wang and Watson. I'm sure the crowd is on fire for Watson. And then we have Serenko playing Niemer that took out Annette Kontaveit today. Okay, and that's it. That's it. That's what I got. Okay. Don't forget, be kind, because everyone you meet is fighting a tough battle. And when you get up in the morning and you feel like shit, just go, let's go really loud. Come on. Shake it off and hit the road.
All right.
All right.
Obvious.
Yeah.
Juvan won.
Let's go. Write that down too.